Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I finally pulled out one of my cozy sweaters, which makes me super excited. It's finally getting pretty cold here in Utah, so I felt like it was time to reach for all of my super cozy sweaters. In today's video, I wanted to try out some new things that I am excited about. Sometime last week, I was sent this collection from Colourpop, and it's gorgeous. I really wanted to try some of these products from this collection. So they launched 3 eyeshadow palettes. Look at the packaging. They have such beautiful kind of moody floral packaging. I'm really excited about all those. So there's 3 palettes. There's also 3 blushes. The packaging is so cute on these as well. And then we have 3 different luxe lip duos. Here's 2 of the 3. I'll show you the third one right here. Such gorgeous tones, especially transitioning from fall into winter. I feel like this collection is so perfect for that. So I wanted to try some of those. Also, one of my favorite brands, honestly, it's become one of my favorite brands because every single product they launch really works for me and I just love them. So they launched a new foundation, M Cosmetics is who I'm talking about. It's the Daydream Cushion Perfect and Protect Foundation. So I wanted to try that as well. I also recently got sent the most generous package from RMS Beauty. I've only tried a couple of things from them, so I wanted to try a few more. I have like a glowy base, like primer thing, and then a brow powder. I have a glow quad right here. So we're just gonna be trying a bunch of different things because that's what I'm in the mood for. I really love to sometimes sit down and just test some things that I'm really excited about. So let's just get right into it. I'm actually going to try this out first. This was also sent to me. Lana Lips sent me a package full of a bunch of different lip products and I think also a couple of like hand products. There was a face mask in there, but one of the products they sent is this Minty Lanostick lip balm, and I just need a really intense hydrating lip balm, so I'm gonna apply this all over the lips before we start. My lips can usually get pretty dry, but I don't know what happened over the past few days. My lips are so dry and I can't seem to hydrate them. All the products that typically work for me like haven't been working very well, so I'm hoping that this one will give me a little bit of a deeper boost of hydration. So it feels nice on the lips and it does have a little bit of a minty feel to it, but it's not overpowering, which is nice. All right, so I think I'm gonna start with the eyes. And I need to figure out which palette I'm going to use from this Colourpop collection. I'm tempted to dip into like all 3, but usually when a collection has multiple palettes or blushes or whatever, I like to choose one when I try it out just so that it's a little more helpful for you guys to see how the product works one by one, if that makes sense. So here's the first one. This is called Baroque and it is a cool toned, very smoky, kind of moody palette. There's some really unique shades in here. I think this is one of the most unique Colourpop palettes. This one right here, called Noble, is a really cool duochrome. There's some silvers in here and also some taupe colors, like this one called Ritzy. There's also like a nice navy blue and a little bit of like a purpley brown. So that's the first option. The next one we have is called Ornate. This packaging is so pretty. This one makes me excited for like Thanksgiving, just the packaging alone. This one is definitely more of a warm toned palette. We've got a nice yellow in there and reds. There's also this deep kind of burgundy brown shade that looks really nice too. This one's a really pretty color scheme. I like it a lot. And then we have Grandeur, which is this one right here. The packaging on this one I think is my favorite. I don't know what it is. I just really love the flowers in here. And this one seems to be a little bit more neutral in undertone at least. And it has a nice glitter shade in the middle. So honestly, I'm kind of leaning toward this one. It has a cool duochrome down here as well that I feel like I would like to try. I need to grab my eyeshadow primer. A lot of my makeup is still packed from last week. I was with my family last week and it was so great and I haven't unpacked yet, so I need to go grab my eyeshadow primer and then we will start on the eyes. Okay, normally I would do my brows first, but I'm not going to because I want to try out a brow powder from RMS Beauty, so we're just going to start with the eyes and then I'll do complexion and then move into brows. I'm just blending out that eyeshadow primer with my finger. All right, I am gonna dip into this palette. This one is the Grandeur palette. I'm taking the shade called Velvet first, and I'm gonna start working that into the crease and a little bit above as my transition shade. This shade is really pretty. I like how it's blending out, and I really like the undertone. It's kind of got like a taupey undertone. It's perfectly neutral. It's not too warm, but not too cool, which I really like. I can't believe it's November, you guys. It's insane to me how fast this year has gone. I feel like in some ways the year has felt so fast, and then in other ways it's felt like it's gone on forever. But I can't believe that we are already in November. November is my anniversary month. My husband and I will be married for 5 years on the 20th. It's crazy. I can't believe that it's been 5 years already. So I normally kind of deepen up the outer portion, but I think I'm going to go in with a shimmer shade on the lid next. So I'm going to take that duochrome called Need on the bottom left corner, and I'm just going to start to apply this all over the lid. I just want to see what this looks like all over before picking a shade to deepen things up. Okay, that's a really pretty shade. It's definitely a subtle duochrome. It has a little bit of a blue shift, but it's not too intimidating, and it actually looks more like a neutral, very wearable shade. I'm just going to apply the same color on this lid, and then I'm going to go back in with that first brush we were using and just make sure the edges are nice and blended. I'm just swatching some of the shades that are in the palette just to see where I want to go with this. This is kind of a cool shade. I don't know why my camera is not focusing again. There we go. So this has like a little bit of a deep brown black base with green flecks of glitter in it. I'm assuming it would show up more as like a black. I'm not sure if those green specks would last very long on the eyes. That might be a fun one to add in the corner though. Let's go little by little. I'm gonna go next to the shade we just applied right here. This is called Jolie, which means pretty in French, I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. It's been a while since I've taken a French class. And I'm gonna use this to deepen up that outer portion initially. Once there's a little bit left on the brush, I'm gonna also use it to really sculpt out the crease. Same thing on this eye. Taking that fluffy brush we were using at the beginning, and I'm just smoothing over the edges again. Okay, so I am going to take this deep shade called Monaco, and I'm going to use that to kind of define this outer corner a little more, right up against the lash line. And I am going to take it slightly into that outer V of the crease, but I'm keeping most of it up against the lash line. I'm going to dip into this shade right here called Lavish. And I'm going to start building that up in the open space where we didn't really create too much of a shape with those deeper shades. I want to create a little bit more of like a graphic shape, if that makes sense, with it being a little more defined through the crease. So I'm just applying this shimmer shade in the open areas that don't have the depth, just to try to create a little bit more dimension there. Then I'm going to take the glitter shade in the center. This looks so pretty. And I'm going to gently start to apply this on that lid area as well, right over top of where we just applied that shimmer shade. I just love glittery eyes. I think it just makes everything so much more special. So I really like how that looks. I'm just taking the brush we were using with the deep colors and making sure that definition on that outer V is still there. And then I'm applying an inner corner highlight. This is so pretty. This is also in the same Grandeur palette. Right here, it's called House. And I'm just using that to brighten up the inner corner. I really love that shade in the inner corner. All right, I'm going to apply some mascara. Let's use the Pat McGrath Dark Star Mascara. I'm just going to apply it to the top lashes first. And I'm going to really layer it up since we have a pretty glam eye look going on. All right, now I'm going to clean up any fallout that got under the eyes, as well as kind of sharpen up the edges. And then as always, I like to take my fingers and just kind of press down the edges so that they're not too harsh. Okay, let's move on to base. I'm going to try out this RMS Beauty Master Radiance Base. This says that you can use this alone or with foundation to blur imperfections and amplify radiance. I'm really excited to try it out. It comes with this really nice spatula. I don't really know how much I need, so I'm going to start off with about this much. Here's what it looks like in the container, by the way. It's so pretty. It's like golden bronze, but I'm hoping that it's a little bit more sheer since I am pretty fair. Hoping that it will just kind of blend in with my entire complexion. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start to apply this all over. It's definitely a lot more thick than what I was expecting. So I feel like you would definitely have to apply this with your fingertips just to warm it up and help melt it and blend it out. It definitely gave my skin quite a bit of a glow, and it feels really rich and nourishing, but not too oily and not too heavy somehow. It's a really unique texture, actually. I don't think I've really applied anything quite like it, but you can definitely see that glow that it gave the skin, and it's not sparkly at all. Even the leftovers on my hand, you can kind of see that glow that it gives, and it's not too over the top, which is so nice. Cool. All right, well, I'm excited to see how foundation looks on top. Let's go ahead and try out the M Cosmetics Daydream Cushion Foundation. They sent me 2 shades. I'm going to be using the shade Fair Light. So this comes with a compact with a cushion already in it, and then also you get 1 refill, which is usually typical when it comes to cushion foundations. At least every single one that I've purchased in the past does come with a refill, which is nice. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. So it comes with this little cushion right here. It's like a teardrop shape. And then you open this up right here, and I've got to take off the seal. And there you have it. There's the little cushion right here. And then there's a mirror up top as well. There's also a little protector on the mirror that I'm gonna take off. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this little cushion and I'm going to dip it right into the foundation till it gets pretty saturated. And now I'm gonna do 1/2 of the face. So I'm just gonna start pressing this into the skin with this cushion. A lot of times with cushion foundations, I'll just put like my sponge or a brush directly into the pan, but I really did want to try out this applicator because it's designed to be used with this formula. So I'm just going to go ahead and start building this up on this half of my face. I really like the finish of it so far. It does have a nice glow to it. I'm going to go ahead and take some and apply it on the forehead. So apparently this is a serum infused tinted cushion. It has a sheer buildable formula and provides a hint of color to enhance skin tone and diffuse imperfections. It's enriched with snow mushroom, green papaya milk, green tea, goji berry, rice water, niacinamide, I love niacinamide, and vitamin E that evens and refines the skin. So it definitely has nice ingredients in it. I really love M Cosmetics, like I said before, so I have high hopes for this. Wow, that's really nice. Like you can still see my imperfections through it, but it definitely brightened and evened out my skin tone so nicely. It reduced redness, and I'm even like going back over some of these blemishes and it is building up coverage nicely. See that? Ooh, I really like this. I do feel like these cushiony applicators take a little more time than a sponge, maybe because I'm used to using a sponge, but I did like how it applied it. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side of my face. I am gonna take my damp sponge and just dip into the cushion a little bit, and I'm just gonna use this really lightly over the complexion just to make sure that it's as smooth as I want it to be. Like I said, I did really like how the applicator applied it, but a sponge for me just helps press everything in usually, and on some of these more hard to reach areas, I feel like a sponge is easier for me to like press the foundation around the nose. So I'm just gonna kind of focus it there as well. I think that shade worked great for me as well. Overall, I really like how it looks. Obviously, we're gonna have to see how it wears. Now, this video is gonna be more of like a first impressions, but I will try to leave a note on the foundation at least in the description box down below as I wear it for the rest of the night so that you guys can kind of hear my first impressions on how this looks through the day. But I really do like it. I think it makes my skin look really glowy and plump, and it feels very hydrating, which is nice. So that's that. Let's go ahead and do some concealer. This is the RMS Uncover Up Corrector. I have always wanted to try this. Now they sent this to me in the shade 22, and I'm hoping that it's not too dark. It might be a little dark. Let's just try it out and see. I'm gonna take my cosmetics brush, the Heavenly Luxe brush, and the concealer side. And I'm just gonna kind of apply this under the eyes a bit. Yeah, it's definitely slightly too deep for me. At least with this foundation, you can kind of tell that it's a little deeper. I'm just gonna apply that with a brush initially, and then I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna use that to blend out the concealer. I've heard so many good things about this concealer, so I'm excited to finally be able to try it. I'm taking just a little bit of the concealer and going over top of blemishes. I have some pretty stubborn blemishes right now, so I do want a little more coverage over them. So I'm just gonna press that into the skin. All right, next I'm gonna set the under eyes and the face with my Thrive Cosmetics powder. All right, so I just set the under eyes and the entire face with the Thrive Cosmetics loose powder, but I wanted to use this as a finishing powder. This is also from RMS Beauty. It's called the Luminizing Powder. The packaging is so pretty on this, I love it. Here's what it looks like on the inside. I'm gonna swatch it just to see the intensity so I know what I'm working with. Okay, so it does definitely have a pretty intense glow to it. Maybe I'll use it as just a highlighter. I'm just gonna see what happens if I apply it kind of starting on the cheeks. Yeah, I can definitely see the glow, and I bet you I could build it up to more of an intense highlight. But I am just gonna kind of take it on a bigger brush now and just like tap it around the complexion to give a bit of a glow like I would with a finishing powder. And then I will probably revisit that in a second to really kind of intensify the glow on the cheeks. But I really like how that applied. It's really pretty. It has a nice champagne golden undertone. I'm just taking the sponge. This is a Flower Beauty sponge, and I'm just kind of pressing everything down into the skin to get rid of any powdery finish. All right, next up, I'm going to take this Back to Brow brush from RMS Beauty, and we're going to fill in the brows using the brow powder they sent. So I'm just going to use the spoolie to brush up my brows. And then I'm going to take the shade Medium first. Here's what this looks like in the pan. I'm going to go ahead and take this on that brow brush. It's kind of an interesting shape, this brush. Usually with brows, I'm used to using more of an angled brush, but I'm excited to see how this one works. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start filling in my brows. I'm using the deeper shade on the outer portion, and then I'm brushing it through. I'm kind of going against the hair a little bit to really get the powder blending into the skin. I'm gonna stop it right about here. They sent me 2 shades, so I'm gonna use the lighter shade on that center portion. So let me do the same thing on the other eyebrow with this. This brush is actually surprisingly really easy to use. I like it a lot. I wasn't sure about it because I've only used like angled brushes with brow stuff, but I really like it. All right, we're gonna go into the shade Light, which looks like this. And I'm gonna be using this for the front of my brow. Same thing, just kind of scribbling it in and then feathering it up and then brushing it through. I actually really like how that lighter shade helped kind of fade the deeper color into the center, and it looks really natural and nice and faded. I like that a lot. I'm just taking the powder brush and kind of making sure the edges are soft. That looks nice, I think. I don't remember the last time I did a full powder brow, but I like how that looks. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go into bronzer. I'm just gonna use my Benefit Hoola bronzer since it's sitting on my desk. I'm gonna take the original first and use this to start to warm up the complexion, making sure to get it up in the hairline, on the forehead, along the jawline, and down the neck. And then, of course, I like to take Hoola Light, and I'm a little bit less careful with this one. I just kind of buff it over the original and a little bit around the edges, just to kind of blend everything again. I'm also going to pinch my brush and apply that on the sides of the nose and underneath the nose and under the lip. All right, before we move on to blush, I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the under eye. I'm gonna take this shade right here called Mode. I'm gonna tap off the extra, and I'm just going to start buffing this right up against the lash line, in between the lashes, from outer corner all the way to the inner corner. Then I'm gonna take the shade Need, just on that same brush, and I'm actually going to wet the brush with the setting spray. And I'm going to apply that right over top, focusing it on the inner third and then stopping about 3/4 of the way across the lower lash line. I think this color looks so cool on the lower lash line, especially with a damp brush. It just intensifies that duochrome. But again, the duochrome is pretty subtle, so it just adds like a nice detail. I'm just gonna take the fluffy brush we used on the top lid. I didn't add any more product to it, and I'm just gonna use this to kind of buff out the edges on that lower lash line. I'm gonna take that light golden champagne shade called House that we used in the inner corner, and I'm just gonna connect that to the lower lash line. Next, I'm just gonna take that Pat McGrath mascara and apply it to the lower lashes. Okay, I'm wiping off any foundation that got on the lips. I feel like the lip balm really did help kind of bring some life back to my lips. Oh, this Living Luminizer Glow Quad from RMS Beauty is actually all cream products. I did not realize that. Okay, so I'll use that after I pick out a blush. We've got 3 different blushes from the new Colourpop collection. This one is called Chase. Look how pretty these are on the inside, you guys. There's a gorgeous flower inside, and this one's a really pretty muted peach. Wow, that's a really nice one. Okay, this is definitely one that I might want to try, so I'm gonna set that aside. We've got, oh no, how do I say this? Palladial? I hope I'm saying that right, I don't know. Which is a true kind of rose pink. That one's gorgeous as well. Then last but not least, we have Vogue. Ooh, this one's like a mauve-y rose color. That's so pretty. I think I should maybe pick out my lip color first. Well, yeah, okay, I want to use this one. So this is the Splendor Luxe Lip Duo. Again, here are the 3 all next to each other so you guys can see what's in what. I want to go with the more nude one. So again, this is called Splendor, and we've got a velvet, and we have a Luxe Velvet lipstick and then a Luxe Gloss. The Luxe Velvet is called Ingenuine. I wonder if I need a lip liner for this. I'm going to take the Juvia's Place Luxe Liner in the shade Sweet Nothing. And I'm just going to line the lips with this really quick. Normally I fill in the lips with lip liner, but I'm not going to this time. I'm going to go in with that Luxe Velvet lipstick, again in the shade Ingenuine. I'm going to apply that all over the lips. I'm going to take my finger and make sure that everything is blended. Wow, that is such a gorgeous color. I really do love the Luxe Velvet Lip Formula from Colourpop. My lips are still a little bit dry, but that's as good as they're going to look today. The Luxe Gloss Formula from Colourpop is not honestly my favorite. I prefer the Ultra Glossy Lip, but I'm going to apply it anyway since it comes with the kit. And the one that came with this one is called Renaissance. I'm going to just focus that in the center. All right, now that we have that on the lips, I definitely think I want to use the peach blush called Chase. RMS Beauty actually sent me a blush brush, which is perfect. I'm going to use this brush. Here's what it looks like. I really liked how it has like a pink top to it. That's really cute. Okay, we're going to take this peachy blush. I'm already so excited about this. And I'm going to smile and apply that to the apples of the cheeks. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I think that blush tied the look all together. All right, we're gonna go in with the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer Glow Quad. I'm gonna mix 2 shades, and I'm just gonna start to apply that on the high points of the cheeks, kind of in a C shape around the brow. That's so pretty. It leaves a nice dewy finish on the skin. Same thing on this side. Then I'm just gonna take the light shade and lightly press that down the center of the nose. I think that looks really pretty. And it doesn't seem to be interfering with the products underneath, which is always good. All right, let's step back and assess the situation. I'm just gonna press a little bit more blush onto the cheeks. And I honestly don't think I need a setting spray. I feel like a lot of the products that I applied are super hydrating and dewy, so I'm just gonna leave them as is. I'm just taking what's left on my bronzer brush and making sure everything is balanced. And then last but not least, I'm gonna take my Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter and lock the brow hairs into place. Okay, so here's the final look. I really like how it turned out. I feel like it's glam, but still very wearable and still very fresh. So really quickly, let's run through what I'm the most excited about. I definitely really enjoyed this Colourpop Grandeur palette. I love the eye look that I was able to create. Now this might be a palette where you might want to look into your collection and see if you could create a similar look using things you already have. To me, I really enjoyed the bottom row especially. I feel like those are very unique shades. I feel like overall, even though it is more of a neutral wearable palette, the shades are unique enough to be different in my opinion. So I actually was very excited about this palette, and the packaging is to die for. So if you're just obsessed with makeup in general, you might want to pick this up just for the packaging. I love to display makeup with good packaging, and I did really enjoy this palette. Again, I did really enjoy how the eye look turned out. All of the RMS Beauty products really floored me actually. I'm excited about the Master Radiance base. It was a very unique texture, but I think overall it resulted in a really nice, natural looking lit from within glow with my complexion, which was nice. I thought that the luminizing powder was really special as well. I'm excited to keep using this, especially with complexion products that I'm more familiar with, just to see how it layers on top of everything, but I really do feel like it gave the whole complexion a nice glow from within as well. The RMS Living Luminizer Glow Quad. This is beautiful. Look at what it did to my cheeks. I feel like it just added such a nice glass skin glow on the high points of my face. I'm so excited about this. I'm definitely going to leave this on my desk so I can continue to use it. Also the brows. I was pleasantly surprised with the brows, especially this brow brush. If you're somebody who uses powders for your brows, this brush is surprisingly very easy to work with. It was different than your typical angled brush, but that's what I really liked about it. I also liked how the 2 shades that they sent me, I was able to create a nice gradient, especially in the front portion of the brow. I feel like I was able to create defined brows, but it doesn't look too overdone. Now I'm going to have to try the other blushes in that Colourpop collection in a future video, but this peach blush did live up to my expectations. I think it's such a nice, fresh color. This is a color that I think would go with so many looks all year round. I could picture myself wearing this in spring and summer as well as fall and winter. Especially in the fall and winter, I feel like for me, I tend to wear a little more makeup, so a blush like that that's going to kind of go with a lot but not distract from your bright lip or your bold lip or your bold eye look is really nice to have. So I'm super happy about that. I really loved this Luxe Velvet lip color in the shade Ingenuine. I don't know if they sell these separately. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but the Luxe glosses are just not my personal favorite gloss formula from Colourpop. But at the same time, I think it looks really nice layered on top. So if you just use a small amount as just like a little bit of a highlight almost for the lips in the center, I think it's fine. But I'm not head over heels over this formula. So if there is an option to buy just the velvet, that's what I personally would recommend. I think that color is stunning and I'm excited to try the others. The M Cosmetics Cushion Foundation, I think it looks so fresh on the skin. I'm excited to see how it wears. Cushion foundations are typically what I would reach for on an everyday basis, just for that nice, quick amount of coverage, and it also has skincare benefits. So I will try to leave a note in the description box letting you know how this wore, especially since I kind of used it in more of a glam way, if that makes sense, by setting the entire face. So I'll let you know how I feel about this, but upon application I thought it was really beautiful and I liked the applicator in here as well. I think it just did a good job at smoothing over my imperfections and then also making my skin look very hydrated and plump, and it feels very hydrated too. A little side note, I actually did really enjoy this Lanolips Minty Lanostick Lip Balm. I'm going to keep using it through the night. Like I'm going to use it tonight and over the next few days to really see if it helps bring my lips back to life. My lips have been so dry, so I will keep you posted on how I end up liking that. Overall, I feel like it was a pretty successful first impressions video. I really enjoyed everything that I tried. Oh, also the Uncover Up Concealer looks so nice underneath the eyes. The shade was a little bit too dark for me, but at the end of the day, I think it, looks okay. I might pick up a lighter shade just to really see how I like it, especially underneath the eye area, but I'm excited to keep trying more RMS Beauty. It seems like a really promising clean beauty brand, so I'm excited to be able to try more from them. If you've tried things from RMS Beauty that you absolutely love, I would love to hear in the comments below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. It was so fun to test out some of these new products, and again, I really enjoyed how my makeup look turned out. So far so good on everything. As always, I'll keep you guys posted on if something works really well for me or doesn't work for me at all. So stay tuned for updates in future videos. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. Thanks again, you guys, for coming back to my channel and for watching my videos, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!